You know, as great as movies are, in my opinion, nothing beats peak television. When you're in the middle of watching an amazing TV show and a major storyline finally reaches its peak, after seasons of development and build, there's no better feeling out there. Nothing comes to mind as emotionally satisfying. I think of the best moments from TV shows like Breaking Bad, Stranger Things, Succession, and so on. But every now and then, I run into a show that doesn't pique my interest from the start. That could be because it's just not my type, or it's way too long, or maybe the first episode didn't catch my attention. So today, I'm going over 5 TV shows that I know for a fact I will never finish. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications for upcoming videos. Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender. I am a massive fan of Nickelodeon's Avatar: The Last Airbender TV show that ran from 2005 to 2008. Not only does it remind me of my childhood glory days, but the show itself is one of the greatest pieces of media entertainment ever made. So when they announced another live-action version of the beloved Nickelodeon series, this time as a Netflix show, I was skeptical. M. Night Shyamalan attempted to make a live-action Last Airbender movie franchise, but failed miserably. Therefore, it was reasonable to assume this show wouldn't be good either. After all, I'm of the belief that translating a series like The Last Airbender from cartoon to live action is nearly impossible, considering how exaggerated some characters can be, such as Aang. Plus, the original is a kids show, where people can bend elements like air, water, fire, and earth. Now, live-action adaptations of cartoons aim for a grounded presentation, though in reality, that's much easier said than done when your show involves all of the above. At this point, I've realized this world works a lot better in animated form, as opposed to live action. But of course, Netflix did not listen. As you can probably tell, I didn't get too far into the first season of Netflix's Avatar TV show. In fact, I think I only got through 1 episode. That's because all of my fears became a reality. The opening is surprisingly pretty good, but once we meet Aang and he travels to the Southern Water Tribe, everything goes to shit. I wasn't a fan of their casting choices. The acting was even worse. Pretty sure I checked out after hearing this monologue.
Long ago, the 4 nations lived together in harmony.
And my argument of there being absolutely no reason for a Last Airbender live-action show or movie franchise was further validated. I heard the rest of the season isn't much better, and I definitely don't intend to find out. I'd rather just wait for this Aang animated film releasing in 2026. Stop experimenting with the live action and just stick to animation. They should have just kept making more animated spin-offs instead of fooling around with crap like this.
Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Yellowstone. I'm completely aware Yellowstone has plenty of big-time fans out there. My roommate is one of them. He's not a huge movie or TV guy, but Yellowstone is legitimately his Bible. He's watched the entire series so far, as well as the spin-offs. So trust me when I say I've heard people talk up Yellowstone like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Unfortunately, when I tried giving it a shot, the first episode did nothing for me. I expected this to feel similar to Taylor Sheridan's great work on films like Wind River, but instead, there's a lot of boring politics involved. It didn't help that the first episode was an hour and a half long either. I'm okay with longer episodes further into a show when every storyline has been established and developed. However, you're not going to hook me with an extremely slow-paced, long episode to begin your series. I'll admit, it took me 2 times to give Game of Thrones' first episode a chance before eventually moving on to the rest of the show. But at least it's not longer than an hour and does a solid job setting up the critically acclaimed series. Whereas Yellowstone's first episode felt like a chore to get through. I wouldn't doubt the show picks up later on, although I don't see a reality in which I feel like putting myself through the pain of episode 1 again. True Detective. Unlike The Last Airbender and Yellowstone, I watched all of True Detective Season 1 and loved every minute of it. I consider True Detective's first season to be one of the best TV seasons of all time. It's easily up there on my top 10 favorite seasons list. So one might automatically assume I watched the rest of the show. But I actually haven't seen another season of True Detective, and never plan on doing so. The reason? Well, I've heard nothing but bad things about Season 2, and while Seasons 3 and 4 were given more positive ratings, nobody's ever said that they are must-watch seasons. It'd be one thing if they continued Rust and Marty's story from Season 1, but since the show is an anthology series, that's not the case. Every season is different, which means you can watch True Detective seasons completely out of order and it won't matter. If seasons 2 through 4 had the amount of acclaim season 1 received, there'd be no doubt I'd give them a chance. But why bother when I've already seen the best season by far, and when I already have a lot of other great shows on my watch list? The Witcher. I may feel a little bad about not getting through the other 3 shows mentioned, but I don't feel bad at all about not finishing The Witcher. When it comes to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, one of the most praised video games ever created, it wasn't for me. Even though I respect the hell out of that game. I'm a simple guy. I do like big worlds and exploration with never-ending things to do, but The Witcher 3 was overwhelming for someone who's not a big gamer like myself. Nevertheless, I decided to give Netflix's The Witcher a chance when it released in 2019. Because I like fantasy content. I wanted to watch Henry Cavill fight big monsters. But oh boy, was it a mistake to begin this series. Season 1 took me about 3 or 4 months to get through. It's such a drag and very convoluted for no reason. If you've never played the Witcher video games, you'll likely be as lost as I was when watching this show. At least I stopped watching after season 1. I've heard from there things don't get any better, if not worse. And now Henry Cavill is gone, being replaced by Liam Hemsworth, which is pretty funny. Shameless. This one was tough putting on the list because what I saw from this show was quite enjoyable. I think I watched the first 7 episodes in season 1, but have yet to get any further. I would watch more, however, I have my reasons for not doing so. First off, Shameless isn't exactly my go-to style of TV. It falls somewhere between a serious show and a comedy. Well, without getting too deep into it, comedy shows just aren't my thing. I just prefer serious stuff, the type of filmmaking that moves me from an emotional standpoint. I want to feel all things drama. I live for that. And what I've seen from Shameless didn't quite give me the impression that this show was capable of accomplishing such a thing. I could be wrong, maybe there is a good mix of both drama and comedy, but even if Shameless does have a variety of emotionally moving moments, the show goes on for 11 seasons, and I've heard it drops off around season 6. So even if I did enjoy the 7 episodes I watched, I think the show is too long for me to get through, sadly. There's a solid chance I could end up watching up to season 5 one day, but I highly doubt I'll ever get past season 5 when I rather just spend my quality time watching other things. Like Better Call Saul, which somehow I still have not gotten around to watching. Alright, well, those are 5 TV shows that I will never finish. But I want to get your thoughts on this. Am I making a mistake not getting through these TV shows? And do any shows come to mind that you started, but know for a fact you'll never finish? Let me know down in the comments. Well, of course, as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and if you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll catch y'all in the next one. See you then.